Welcome back to the first video in 2020. I am Marc Wolff, and this is a little bit of an update video. We've got a few updates for all the work we have ahead, and it's going to be a lot of fun. First and foremost, right now I am analyzing full sets of Magic the Gathering, starting with Throne of Eldraine and working my way through pre-Theros Standard. I'll give you my thoughts on what I've seen so far with Throne of Eldraine after I finish here with updates. Yeah, I'll start doing that for sets. And hopefully once I get through Standard, I'll go a lot further down and just try to get through everything. I don't know if I can keep up to date, but man, there are just so many cards to analyze. But over the holidays, actually, I visited Corey, and we got to play a bunch of Mage War. It was really fun. Got to catch up. We haven't seen each other in a long time, so that was great. And talked about some future plans for Mage War. And I think what we're going to try to do is get some full art decks designed and printed. I would like those decks to be designed by Corey and then to commission artwork for them. So if you're an artist, please, and you would like the commission, it would be about, I think, 16 cards per deck. Please email me, but I think I've already got one contact, and I'll be looking for some others in some other places. I'll keep you updated on that, but those will be to distribute to local card stores, and I'll try to keep them, or keep a number of them to show you here in a video, so you can see what those look like, and that'll be fun. And then I've still got to edit the rulebook for the item card edit, and if you haven't seen that video, check it out, where I explain that special abilities given to items add to their cost, special abilities given to items add their cost, the special abilities cost, to both the item's deck and play cost like a secondary ability. So that was just a little edit that needed to be made. And I'll get to that, and I'll let you know when that happens, when I release the new version, but that's so far the only thing. Through all the games that Corey and I played, we didn't find anything else. There was one thing that I thought was wrong, but it turned out to just be my reading things too quickly as we were playing. But everything was fine there. But I do still have to do a deck profile of the Cthulhu deck, and I got a chance to play the Cthulhu deck against Corey, and like I've said before, Corey is a much more competitive gamer than I am. His decks are much more competitive, so the Cthulhu deck did not do well against Corey's decks, and once I got tired of playing it, I just played with some other decks that he designed, and those were much more fun. So, but we didn't get a chance to actually film a game, and that was really, I was hoping that in visiting Corey I'd get to film one of our games that we played, and I would get to put that up here on the channel, but that just didn't happen. We're just hanging out, and we're having too much fun playing games, and we watched The Mandalorian, and just hang out and just catching up. So yeah, we didn't get to film, but maybe in the future, very soon, I will get to do that at one of my local game stores. Corey's too far away to join me for that, but I will try to get that together at some point, because that'd be really good to have on the channel, and I'll keep you updated there. But now we can actually get into this discussion with analyzing Magic the Gathering sets. So, as you see on my channel right now, I've started analyzing single cards, and this is, you know, good, and it works, and it's fun, but it is a very long video for just one card. And although these beginning videos, and especially videos like the one for Giant Growth and Lightning Bolt, but more just the Giant Growth discussion, some of those are really good because they go over more than just one card. They kind of go over like precedents or things to keep in mind when analyzing Magic cards. So those videos are good, but just in terms of efficiency, I thought it'd be better to go over full sets, and kind of the more I thought about it, I was hoping people would just start doing this, but This is a very new thing, and I think people are still maybe a bit skittish, or maybe they just, I don't know. So I think putting that information out there for everybody to see will be much better, so that if somebody does kind of secretly catch on and start doing this and start making moves in the market, that it doesn't take everybody by surprise and there's no reference point or anything. But I can put that information out there, and you can all tell me I'm wrong or tell me I'm right, and whatever you think. I'll just do those, and I don't know if and when I'll ever get to Theros, the new Theros set, but I'll start with Throne of Eldraine, and there are a lot of cards in that set. Is a very huge set, but there are a lot of things that I really did want to go over, so I'm doing that. And then I'll work my way down through Standard right now, so I'll do War of the Spark, and I think Core 2020 as well, and then some of the other ones that might be in there. I'm not entirely sure right now. Is Guilds of Ravnica still Standard legal? I don't know, I haven't checked. I should know that. But once I get done with that, I don't know how many more sets will have been released in that time. So, but I'll probably just keep going back and doing further sets in reverse, especially ones that are mechanically significant. I may skip over some sets like the Phyrexian mana sets, and I may take a while to do those, just because of the power creep and the non-viability of that mechanic, and things like energy counters like Kaladesh. I may not go over Kaladesh very soon. But I'll try to do as much as I can for as long as I can on that, but it is a lot of work, so it may take a little while for me to get through Throne of Eldraine. But whenever that happens, I will release it, and you'll have that, and then I'll keep going through War of the Spark and Core 2020 as well. And what I'll end up with is kind of a readout for every card. I've got a file here, just a document where I'm recording everything, and you'll see the total deck cost for each. Well, actually, you won't see it. I don't know if I'll go over actually each individual card, but it will have gone over it, but it'll be able to tell you, and I will go over this in the video, the full deck cost for the set, and then things like total play cost for the set, total power level, and then I'll also go over like average power level per card. Like I'll add everything up and then divide it by everything, and I'll go over all the asterisk notes, things like the adventure cards. I still think those are fundamentally broken. Those are 2-for-1s, so I'm analyzing each of the cards with like I'm analyzing both cards on the adventure card separately, and then I'm giving a value for each, but each of those cards in my notes has an asterisk that says even if both of these abilities have a 0 balance, that they are still fundamentally broken because they're an adventure card and it's a 2-for-1. So I think those will always be more powerful, and those will always present a problem if they ever get repeated in future sets, especially if, like other cards, if they don't keep that power level up. And although right now this is just speculation, because I think I'm only maybe 40, somewhere around 40 cards through Throne of Eldraine, so I'm not even like a sixth of the way through the set. But so far what I'm seeing is that Throne of Eldraine is kind of a treatise in power creep, much more so than the Phyrexian mana sets or energy counters, or any new major ability that kind of got added. Throne of Eldraine is very subtle. It does a lot of power creep in very odd ways, completely aside from the adventure cards. There are a lot of instances of abilities there are just very few of out there, and it presents a new version of that ability that's much more powerful, and or even some that do have a lot of instances of that ability in Magic so far, but none of them at the current power level, and Throne of Eldraine goes the direction that none of the other cards do, with a higher value, I mean. So I'm finding a lot of that, and that's very interesting. The thing that I think they got really right, though, is food tokens. I think they kind of wanted to remedy the problem with energy counters, and they wanted to add something cool with tokens. They wanted to do something fun, but they didn't want it to break the game. They didn't want it to be too much of a preoccupation, but they still wanted to be able to design around it and make it fun. And I think they really hit it with food tokens. The mechanics are great, the balance is great, the flavor is awesome. It's just, yeah, they really hit that out of the park. But so many other things are very heavily weighted on this set. There is so much power contained in this set that I'm seeing right now. And this is even compared to just a recent one like War of the Spark or Core 2020. And I think those are both pretty big sets as well. But yeah, Throne of Eldraine really seems to go above and beyond those in a very significant way. And what I'm expecting is that once I get done with all of these sets, that I'll see the average power level per card in Throne of Eldraine is much higher than War of the Spark or Core 2020. So that's my prediction, and I may be completely wrong, but this video will stay up and you'll be able to see my prediction, and you'll be able to see, oh wow, he was really wrong about that, or oh wow, he was kind of right, okay. Wasn't too far off, maybe, I don't know, somewhere in the middle. Whatever it is. So I'll get those up as soon as I can. And it's a lot of work, but I'm trying to work through it as fast as I can. And that's just kind of that. Am I going to finish this last crane here? I don't know if I have much more to talk about. Let me think. Oh, okay. For other videos in terms of analyzing Magic cards, kind of an end note here. More in the vein of like the kind of video where Giant Growth was analyzed, and I showed how that sets conventions for other cards. There are some things that I'll have to go over maybe in the Throne of Eldraine video, but I'll definitely want to do its own video on some conventions like split cost cards, where it has a colored mana, but you can pay either one color or a different one. You have a choice there. And things like that, which are instances of power creep, but whether they're good or bad is something I have not fully analyzed yet. I mean, in terms of split cost cards, I don't think it makes that much of a difference. It's kind of like just a better version of a gold card, but it works a little differently, or, I mean, it's kind of weird. Magic has a lot of this. It's been around for a very long time, and they try to play around with all the different things, and sometimes things turn out to look much more standardizable than maybe it should. And, or I don't know if it's, because again, I haven't fully analyzed it yet, so, and I don't think it really affects it that much, but I don't think split cost cards are going to go away, and certainly they exist in Throne of Eldraine. But I think the major problem really is just the adventure cards. I think time will show the adventure cards, especially because they're synergistic, a lot of them, I mean, like the spell and the creature on that card, that they will pretty much all, except for, you know, the ones that are obviously pretty overcosted, like Flaxen Intruder. But I think most of the adventure cards are going to stand the test of time, and even the common and uncommon ones are going to be playable in many, many different formats. Pretty much useful everywhere. I mean, how can you... Where is a 2-for-1 not useful? I mean, right? So, but anyway, I think that's pretty much it for this video. I'm going to end it. It got actually a little longer than I wanted it to. But hey, look, I made 3 little cranes. They got progressively smaller. That's fun. So stay tuned for the next video, and we'll see you then.